Welcome back to the show, everyone. Of course, we didn't have much of a spring here in Vancouver. Fingers crossed for the summer, but this is a great time of the year to go travel and see the world.
And we're going to talk about just that with travel expert Claire Newell, who is just fresh off the plane. How are you?
I'm good. I was in Spain. Hola.
¿Cómo estás? Barcelona?
Barcelona. But I actually saw much more of Spain than the average person goes. I was only there for a week, and I saw all sides of that.
The jet lag for me going that route is sometimes I get narcoleptic for the first 3 days.
Oh,
so how do you handle it?
I know. For a 1 week trip. A lot of people are doing this because Transat is flying on these 1 week getaways that are really affordable with a package to London or Paris. And if you don't get over it, your trip is it's a nightmare.
Yeah. Well, and Spain that you just got back from is a huge deal right now, right?
It's a great deal because they are suffering, like their economy is awful. They have a huge unemployment rate at the moment. And because of our dollar, it's such a great time to go there. Things were so much cheaper than I had expected.
Now, I've never been to Spain. What were your favorite things aside from partying?
I loved Barcelona and got to stay on La Rambla, which is the main drag. Barcelona, what many people don't realize is it's a real architectural city, so Gaudi architecture, but they also have tons of sites. It's so many similarities to Vancouver. It was an Olympic city. It's on the ocean. It's
beautiful.
It's fabulous.
And how was the party?
It was good. It was good. Who knew? Barcelona is like Europe's Vegas. So there were bachelor parties and bachelor parties. Really fun place to go.
Very cool.
Okay, let's talk about some travel tips for people.
Well, there's a lot of people think that Europe is extremely expensive, and it can be expensive if you don't do it right. So I have some tips on ways to save some money, and one of them is to travel during the off season, which I did because the real peak season is when kids are in school or out of school. Sorry.
Right. So
if you can go in May and June, that's a great time to go. And then again in September, weather is still good, but the crowds have dissipated, and you're going to save yourself anywhere between 20 and 50%.
And also, it's not going to be as hot in some places are in August.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. The other thing is consider going not to the London, Paris, which are great destinations, but maybe places that are starting to get popular, like Croatia. Spain, Portugal, it's a little bit cheaper for people. Right. So consider those destinations. Go online and do a little bit of research if you want to do a vacation rental. So some apartment. Yeah. And there's a good website for that, which is VRBO, which is Vacation Rental by Owner. Saves you a ton of money.
Now, I've heard about that one. I heard that was great, but you also use Craigslist, which scares me.
People have had some success with Craigslist. I'm much more fan of VRBO, and they've got great pictures, great reviews, and it's the tried and true way.
You can save a lot of money by renting somebody's home or apartment.
Huge, yeah.
Half the price of some of the hotels, plus you get to cook your own meals if you want to do that.
Well,
and
if you've got a family, it's a much easier way to travel than
much easier, especially because in Europe the rooms are very, very small.
Very small.
They're very expensive, and a lot will only allow 2 people in the room. So you're getting 2 rooms, very few of them are adjoining, and very few of them are even on the same floor. You can't guarantee it. So if you've got young kids, it's a tough thing to do.
And you also tell people to shop locally and have a picnic?
It's a really nice idea.
Well, I know you're kind of thinking maybe, eat in a park or go for a picnic, but the food locally at the markets, so fresh fruit, cheese, bread, the local wines are so cheap if you go to some of the markets.
You can drink wine in a park in some places in Europe.
You can drink wine cheaper than you can drink soft drinks there.
And water.
Well,
which
water
explains a lot.
Exactly. Water. People always buy bottled water when they're in Europe. Or buy one bottle of water and then keep refilling because the tap water is completely
totally fine.
drinkable in Europe.
And researching activities and stuff before you go is so important.
There are so many free festivals, so many free events. There's even free tours in Europe that are almost in every major city where all they expect is a tip. Most people don't even realize that all of the great national museums in London, they're free.
Which is amazing.
So if you do your research, you can enjoy some of the best that Europe has to offer for little or no money.
Yeah, if you're traveling with younger teenagers, boy, take them to the museum a few days in a row. They love it.
Yeah. They're like, hey.
I still have to apologize to my parents for that one.
Isn't that funny? Because I did the same thing. I moaned my way through so many European vacations because we're going to.
And now you give anything to go
And
back,
now I
right?
do anything to
And
go.
public transportation can also save a lot of money.
Another thing people don't know.
Even in New York, I mean, it's part of the adventure if you're into London or Paris or New York or anywhere with a decent transportation system. Part of the fun is really getting to see the city and learning how that system works.
It's so true. And any countries that had to be part of the European Union, the EU, had to put in buckets of money into their infrastructure.
Yeah.
So it's cheap, it's affordable, it's on time.
There's usually
it's
iPhone
awesome.
apps for the trains and the subways and that sort of thing for every city.
No reason to get lost. If you've got a BlackBerry or a smartphone,
Yeah, it's
great
pretty
thing to
easy.
do.
Okay, let's talk about places to go. Hot spots for the summer. Literally hot, as in steaming hot, is Las Vegas.
It's the place for bachelorette parties and summer getaways, and especially with Bridesmaids and The Hangover 2 coming out. Everyone's all over this. Cheapest if you can leave on a Tuesday. They have 2-night getaways for $198.
I was looking
You're
at your
kidding me.
website last night. I cannot believe how cheap Vegas is during the week. It's crazy.
But it's a Tuesday. You know, go during a Tuesday, go down for 2 nights, have fun, and get home.
Yeah,
Have
that's
fun,
great.
do things you regret, come home.
Yeah, I like that. Here's something- we talk about this, I think, almost every year, and I always think, I have to put this on the list, and I always forget about it. But Alaska, it is stunning, and the cruise. and
People
just the
come
whole
from
thing.
all over the world to
Yeah.
our backyard to do these types of vacations.
And you forget that cruise up the Inside Passage. And
I know. There are some deals still left for under the $600 mark for this year. But if you really want to save money, plan for next year, because we're seeing round trip Vancouvers already in off season. So May, early June, and then again in September for around the $499 round trip Vancouver. Way cheaper, around the $299 mark if you want to go one way out of Seattle. So Vancouver to Seattle.
And then
So up to Alaska, but then you return.
And something to look forward to if you book it now.
Absolutely, you won't get better deals.
Okay, London, my fave.
Well, London and Paris combo. London and Paris are serviced by Transat, and we are really lucky to have that. They're also serviced by Thomas Cook Airline and all of the major carriers that are going. So because there's more competition, it's cheap. You can do a package with just into Paris, for example, for $859 September.
That's crazy.
Including air, hotel, your breakfast, and a sightseeing tour.
So once again, just after the kids go back into school,
Yeah.
get out of there.
And Southern California, always a favorite.
Always a popular destination. This year, they're continuing right through summer. Kids fly free. So the package might cost you $699, $799 per adult. Kids 11 and under get to stay and fly for free. They're throwing in Anaheim
Mike, can you
Angels
pass as a
tickets.
child? Can I take you?
When they ask me whether I'm taxable, I always say no.
Come on. But it's really popular.
Well, thank you so much,
Love it, Claire.
Claire. If you want to find out about all the deals that we were talking about, they are all on Claire's website. It is on the screen for you right now.
Very nice. Appreciate it. Go Canucks, go. You're going
Go
to the game
Canucks.
tonight, aren't you?
I am.
Good girl.
I can't wait.